When Cliff came to see me about ministry and all sorts of things, and he told me he was a musician, we went onto his website and I played that. He played me that song. He said, "Listen to this one. I think this will get you." And as the father of children that just went back to school and went into high school, and watching them become adults, not yet, but soon, but watching the little flower and the little man of steel. Will used to play in these pirate outfits that just the other day, he asked me if he could move some of the things out of his room so that his friends didn't think he was still a child. And it was like, this song, it just really gets you. It just really gets you. Thank God for dreamers and children. But here's the thing about that. Every single one of us is a dreamer because we all have vivid dreams and we all have amazing desires in life, and we are all children. Our childhood is as close to us as we decide it is. Our ability to think from an innocence and a purity that taps into the divine and forgets all the stuff that may have happened over 59 years or 49 years or whatever. That ability is right here at our fingertips if we're just willing to do it. And hearing a song like that always brings me to that place. The reason why, and by the way, it's because of that song that I had the theme for this month way back in beginning of August. I already knew what this month would be because of this song. Thank God for possibilities. And what I really want to leave you with today, that was my talk. I want to, could you imagine? Maybe you could. I really want to leave you with today is that anything really is possible. It's a great sentence, a great slogan, it's a great theme for the month, but I really want us all to start living that, and I'm saying it everywhere I go. We're mounting an enormous show here, and I just keep sitting in that theater, right where you're sitting and watching this and just saying it's all possible. And even when people around me will say, that doesn't seem like it's possible, I'm like, yeah, it is. And then I get up and show it. And that's what we get to do in our lives. And see, when I get up and say, yes, you can, I'm not going to tell you what they do on this set. Yes, you can, because I did it today when I created it. Watch. And do it. That's telling the universe it's possible. So it's not just in your mind saying it's possible. Sometimes the universe needs you to actually take a leap of faith and just do it. That was good, wasn't it? Take a leap of faith and just do it to inform the universe, and more importantly, you are the universe, to inform yourself. It's possible. It is possible. Everything is possible. There is this wonderful saying by Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, and he says this: what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Anything is possible because everything is possible. Your belief system must come from a place that informs the universe that everything is possible. Nothing is off the table. Nothing is beyond the scope of what is mine to create. Do you all get that? The only reason why anything's possible is because everything is possible. And when we look at people like Anne Frank, and we look at these brilliant people in the world, Gandhi, when we look at these incredible minds that say anything is possible. I happen to believe that our president right now believes that peace is possible, which may be why he's so cautiously stepping where he's stepping. And it doesn't matter about politics, whether you are whatever political bent you are, it doesn't matter. What we have to know is peace is possible. And I believe too many people think it's not, right? Too many people think peace is not possible, and they believe that peace is only possible by using the same method that caused the unpeace. And that just doesn't work. If we keep trying to fix the problem with the same mind that created it, it just won't work. So yes, there may be some discomfort in our country right now thinking, what are we doing? I believe that there is something within all of us that is guiding everything. And I'm not concerned. I'm just knowing anything is possible because everything is possible. So what the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And then he also said, whatever your mind feeds upon, it attracts to you. Whatever your mind feeds upon, it attracts to you. So I want to ask you, what does your mind feed upon during your life? What are you feeding upon? What is it that gets your attention? And I want you to look at something. Attention. I'll wait. Attention. What do you focus on? What is it that really does get your attention? And what does it create in your life? When you're focusing on what you're focusing on, is it bringing joy into your life? Is it bringing a vibrant sense of peace and passion and power and prosperity? If it's not, you are tuned into the wrong channel. And you are allowing yourself to feed on things that you're not happy about. Dale Carnegie, when speaking to Napoleon Hill, gave him this. He said, life is like two envelopes. You get two envelopes in life. One is called riches, and one is called penalties. Now, the thing is, which envelope do you gravitate to? Which envelope do you open? And he says the riches, number one envelope of riches is all the riches you may enjoy if you take control of your mind and direct it to what you desire. That was in envelope number one. All the riches you can enjoy if you take control of your mind and direct it to what you desire. And then there's envelope number two. All the penalties you must endure if you do not take control of your mind and instead allow it to be controlled by life's conditions. Dale Carnegie. So what'll it be? Which envelope would you like? And here's the deal. We're all going to say envelope number one, aren't we? Is anyone here going to say number two? Anyone here going to say number two? Raise your hand if you are. I will ostracize you right now. No, we're all going to say, like you would even raise your hand. Right, I'm going to give him that opportunity. We're all going to pick number one, but here's the thing. Do we really pick number one? I know to pick number one, but do I? Sometimes I pick number two. And here's what happens when I pick number two. I get the penalties. My life doesn't work. I am more stressed. I'm tired. I'm not happy. I don't feel the creativity and the passion of my life. Why? Because I let something out here control me. I gave my control over to the wigglers, to all the things that are vying for my attention. How many people had anything vying for your attention this week? Do you have anything really vying for your attention? Right. So the only thing is, you're going to give it or not? Will it be envelope number one or envelope number two? Or what Carol Merrill's now presenting behind me, right? So here's what he says about the criteria of life. He says, make a definite statement of purpose in these two areas. Number one, what you desire. Are you willing to literally let the universe know what you desire? And are your desires unrelated to what the world is telling you? Because that's really important. It is so important for us to really stop listening to what everybody else tells us we can do and what we can't do. It's really important for us to stop letting even our past tell us what we're able to do. Truly. I was choreographing a number yesterday, and there was a moment in my head, I had conceived of this lift, and the three actors just kind of looked at me when I said it. I said, so here's what's going to happen, and I'm not going to tell you the lift because I want you all to see the show and you'll be surprised. But I said, so here's what you do. You do this huge leap, they catch you, it all works well. And they just were like, I said, no, really, it really does work. And what I've told them all the time is, it works, I've already done it. And they went, did you catch yourself? Did you leap in the air and get on the floor and catch yourself? I went, no, I haven't done this one yet, but I will show you how it's done. And it worked. The thing is, are you standing here waiting for it to prove itself, or are you proving it? Are you waiting for the universe to give you permission to prove it, or are you just proving it? You don't need permission other than your own permission. Ernest Holmes says, the possibilities of the law are infinite, and our possibilities of using it are limitless. The possibilities are infinite, but our possibilities of using it are also limitless. So here's a question I have for you. Could you use your mind right now in a different way, in a new way perhaps, in a way that maybe you've never used it before? Think about how you use your mind. Think about your normal day. Think about how you go throughout your day. Could you possibly use your mind in a way that is different than what you may have done before? This person comes along that you know always annoys you. Anybody have those people? So this one person, they show up and you already know. You know you're going to hear all their problems. You know they're going to hear everybody whose fault it is besides them. You know you're going to hear it all. Could you use your mind in a different way? Turn and leave before they get to you. It's one way to do it, isn't it? Or use it in a different way. Instead of just being annoyed at what they're about to tell you and suffer that person, couldn't you possibly stop it and just move into a different direction? Use your mind in a different way to divert the situation. My children say that I have spiritual ADD because we will be in the middle of something and they don't realize that I actually do this on purpose. My husband thinks this too, that I do this on purpose. But when things get a little bit, in a place that it feels like it's going in the wrong direction, I'll be like, oh my God, look at that tree. Something like really positive. And now they'll stop me and go, we were just talking. Why are you telling us to look at the tree? You really have spiritual ADD. Everywhere you go, you can be in the middle of a conversation, like, the sky is so beautiful. It's like, back to me, right? But that's what we can do with our minds. There is always something brilliant to focus on besides what's showing up. So maybe this week you can think about that. Using your mind in a different way, in a new way. Even your body. If you have pain in your body. I worked with someone this week, and here's the deal. People forget their pain when they're thinking of something else. So what if you just never thought of the pain and just stayed somewhere else? Just think about that. Your mind. I was in the hospital with someone, this woman, and she was in great pain. And the nurse came in and played with her thing, whatever it was, and she left. And then the nurse left. And then this woman was like, oh God, when they give me the morphine, I just feel so much better. And it just makes my body just relaxes. I was like, good. I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know she gave her morphine. And I was about to launch into my normal science of mind. I'm sure we can accomplish that without the morphine if we wanted to. And the nurse comes back in carrying something, and she's like, what's that? She goes, this is your morphine? And I was like, thank you, Jesus. There's my lesson. I don't even have to give this lesson. And I turned to this woman, I went, you do realize that you decided you had the morphine and your body felt better, and it hasn't been given to you yet. And she was like, unbelievable. I said, there you go. I said, you don't even need the morphine. She goes, no, I don't, but please put it there. But just think about that. That's how powerful our minds are. That's how possible it is to transform everything in your life. So, can you change your reaction to life? Yes, you can. You just have to decide to do it. Changing beliefs starts by questioning our beliefs. And that's really what it's all about. What the mind of man can conceive and believe. It's about the belief. First, you just have to know what you believe and question it. If you believe that there are things in your life that are kind of irrevocable, question that. Change it. That's all it takes. Remember, we are about the possibility of infinite riches. Infinite riches. The alternative is infinite penalties. So what'll it be? Ernest Holmes says, we can demonstrate at the level of our ability to know. We can demonstrate at the level of our ability to know. Beyond this, we cannot go. It was one of his Dr. Seuss moments. We can demonstrate at the level of our ability to know. Beyond this, we cannot go. And so it is. Right? So, You can only demonstrate in your life at the level of what you're willing to know. You cannot go beyond that. It's like what Raymond Charles Barker says, you cannot go beyond your own self-image. If you see yourself as someone who only goes this far, that line's drawn. You're only going this far. If you see yourself who has limitless possibilities, then it just doesn't matter what happens in life. You can be fired from your job, you can lose everything you thought you had, and the sky opens up, the world opens up, and you step into who you really are. Because a lot of what we have is keeping us in identities. It's not who we are. So this month is about you giving yourself the opportunity to question, ask the questions, challenge your beliefs. And if they aren't working for you, get rid of them. Find the ones that work. For me, it's just that my life is unfolding perfectly. If I trust and know that, then no matter what is going on is unfolding perfectly, and I find the good. And if it's something I didn't like, I decide not to let it unfold that way again. I don't go back and try to fix the way it unfolded. Who can do that? I just say, don't want that again, but it was perfect. So, anything is possible because everything is possible. You know, I knew I wanted to be a father from the day I was born. As a little boy, I would play family. Should have been their first clue, but you know, I would always play family. It's one of the reasons why I love that song, when the little boy and little girl, they know they want to get married someday. I knew that. It was the boy next door, not the girl next door, but it's another story. I always wanted children, and I knew I would have children. I knew I would have children. Now here's the thing. When I wanted to have children, when I was in my early 20s, there was only one way to do it. And that wasn't happening. So it was like, I still know I want to be a father someday. In vitro fertilization didn't really happen for a number of years. So when I turned 45, I had children. Because the universe answers your every desire. It just may take 25 years for the universe to finally give you exactly what it is you wanted. I always knew I'd be a father. At 45, I became a father. And it changed my entire life. I remember watching the movie Rabbit Test that Joan Rivers directed, and where the man gets pregnant. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I would love that. I know. And then I thought to myself, would I really love that? And where is it going to come out? So that might not work for me. So anything is possible. Everything is possible. You don't think someday men are going to carry babies? You don't think someday they're going to find a way and women are going to say, not me, it's you. Some woman doctor will figure this out. She will. And then it will be an option. When you get married, it's like, which one of us is doing this? It won't just be taken for granted that they're doing the labor. So, what mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So for me, believe comes first. It is really time for us to expand our beliefs, folks. And this is the month. Anything is possible. You can get rid of whatever beliefs don't work. You can create the ones that do work. So, this month, I really want you to get on board with this idea of anything impossible. Just try it on. See how it fits. Say it. Every single day you should be saying to yourself, anything's possible today. You wake up, anything's possible. If you start every day from this day forward with anything's possible, and don't do anything's possible from the place of, oh my God, anything's possible. It's not that. It's anything's possible. And why? You have to know why anything's possible. It's because... Let me go back to the top of this talk. Anything's possible because everything's possible. Let's try that one on. Everything's possible. Now let's do anything's possible because everything's possible. Anything's possible because everything's possible. What do you think life would be like if that's really how you lived your life? If that's really the belief you walked with at all times? And no matter what showed up, your answer to it was, yeah, I see that. Everything's possible, and anything's possible. And if it feels too big for you, grow into it. Grow into it. Sometimes I feel like somebody said to me once, they said, I hear you talk and it just sounds so far away from me. I want it. I really want it. And some of you here today may feel that. I really want to believe that. I really want to live like that. I really want to think that way, but it seems so far away. Take the first step. And then let the universe take the rest, as Michelle said. Michelle's first step really was just she came to me, we talked, and she made a decision, and that was it. It was, Michelle, do you want to lose boom pounds by Christmas? She went, yeah. And I said, okay, and so it is. And she did. And someone recently, when I said that too, said, I just don't see it happening. So here's the deal. If you don't see it happening, it's not going to happen. And if you don't see it happening and the idea seems too big for you, what can you see happening? What step can you take? What first step can you take? That's all. Because I guarantee you, if you just take that first step, I don't know where this emotion's coming from, the universe just takes you into its arms. We're about to go on a spiritual retreat, our practitioners. And the theme of the retreat is, come to me, I will hold your heart. And we will now all spend 48 hours in a most magnificent place where we will let the universe hold our hearts. That's what you can do. That's the possibility that's there for you. Take that first step and just let the universe hold your heart and take it on this amazing journey. Anything is possible. And that is the truth. It's the spiritual truth. Now, you just have one thing to do. Prove it. Prove it. Get out into your life and live this teaching. Live this truth that not only anything is possible, but everything is possible. For me, Mama. For me. That was Gypsy, in case you missed it. Yeah, good. That was good. That Broadway reference took a long time to get here. Right. But really, that's the truth. Everything is possible for me. And that's where it comes. It's not enough to just know everything's possible. And I know you all know that. Everything's possible. And I know some of you think, I don't mean to point to you people up there. I know some of you people, some of you all think that everything's possible for her, or everything's possible for him, or everything's possible for, Brad and Angelie. Everything's possible for me. So that's what we're really going to focus on this month, yes? Yes. Do you know what ME stands for? Mental equivalent. There is a mental equivalent inside of your mind that sets the limit for how possible your life is. Expand it, grow it, fearlessly step into it. Take that first step and let the universe take you along with it. And what it's saying to you is, everything's possible. Everything's possible for you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.